that was about apropos. That's the way it should have turned out. I thought that was that even of a series. The one thing in both games, we started off slow, particularly Friday night. We got down three, fought our way back, but couldn't quite get the equalizer. And then Saturday, we fell down by two in the first. And we talked about a lot before the game started the importance of getting off to a good start. I don't think we played poorly, particularly on Saturday in the first. It's just the chances we had didn't go in, and the ones they did. So that's one thing we take away that we want to find a way to conquer. But it was really two hard-fought games, very physical, very intense, and I think it was pretty much a dead heat throughout the weekend in terms of play, and the two scores reflect that.
What'd you make of the special teams battle? One power play goal each way, and then a 5-minute kill for the Bulldogs in the Saturday win as well.
Yeah, that's sad. That was a momentum changer for us. That was a big 5-minute kill. Then we scored, if I remember correctly, immediately after we killed that 5. That was huge, and we scored a power play goal on Friday. In reality, it was 2 power play goals Friday because the second one, they never got their guy back in the play. Like their penalty expired. The kid was just coming out of the box when we scored, So in reality, it was 2 power plays on Friday. So I thought our special teams was really good all weekend. I thought our intensity was there. I thought the guys were really locked in. So all in all, a pretty good hockey. And I think it'll help prepare us for this weekend against Minnesota State because both teams play a similar style of hockey.
You mentioned, of course, Minnesota State coming to Big Rapids this weekend, currently ranked number 14th in the nation. Points every weekend, so important in the second half of the season as we try to climb the standings.
Yeah, they are very important, and this weekend it's a great challenge given the fact that Minnesota State is on top of the standings right now, so both teams want the points, both teams need them for the second half here. But I like where we're at. I like the way we're playing. I like the guys' stick-to-itiveness, the resilience. You don't like falling behind in the games, but it's nice to know that when you do, no one hits the panic button and they don't start eating each other, if you will. They stick together and they keep battling, and I think that's a great attribute to have.
You had said earlier this week that the difference between Friday and Saturday's game is that there was a mental piece alongside the physical and emotional piece. How are you preparing them this week with that in mind?
Well, that's a good point, and I think, we talk about the mental piece. The mental piece a lot of times for me shows up in line changes. It shows up on some poor turnovers instead of buying into the game plan. We make ill-advised plays at the offensive blue when there's really nowhere to go to get the puck in other than we need to dump it in and chase it. And you don't like to have to play that way where all you do all night is dump and chase. But you've got some teams that are really good defensively. I thought Bowling Green's one of those teams where they have 3 guys back. There's no room at the blue line. And we're one of those teams too. You just got to be willing to throw the puck in and go in and have to fight for it to get it back. Obviously, if you break out of your own zone cleanly, that's an opportunity to enter the zone at the other end with possession of the puck, because at that point they're not set up with 3 guys back. There's usually an opening, and so that's why we put such an emphasis on our breakouts. We want to be able to break out and have the offense generated from inside our end of the rink by some good puck movement, and then that'll allow us. It's when you have to go off the window in the defensive zone and then chase the puck in the neutral zone. Even if we get it, they're going to have 3 guys back. So that's the mental part when I talk about. And then the other thing where it shows up is in poor penalties. And Friday night we had some. Saturday, I don't know that we had a poor penalty. I'd like to see Nick Nardekian not take those penalties inside of 5 minutes when we're holding on to 1-goal leads. And, it's a high level of intensity he plays with, and sometimes he crosses over that edge. And at that point, we have a 2-goal lead, and yeah, it's in the defensive zone, so that's a good thing. But, it's keep your emotions in check. And unless you're hauling a guy down that's getting ready to, to bury a puck. We prefer not to have to kill inside of 5 minutes while we're protecting a lead.
What's the message to the locker room when you're playing a ranked team like Minnesota State?
You know what? I don't know that we're going to have anything different to tell them. I think for us, the most important thing is to continue to work on what we want to do and how we want to play. The guys are very, very well aware that Minnesota State's got a very good team, and they're having a great season. And so we've got their attention based on that. The only message I'd have is I personally, I like these kind of challenges. I'd love to be playing the number one team in the country. And maybe Minnesota State is. I don't know about that. They're certainly a top 20 team. But I think, the better the team, the more fun it is when you play them.